Shabbos, everybody. I'm sure everyone's a little hungry. It's early Friday morning. Shabbat Teves. It's pretty rough day, pretty sad day. Why is it sad? Besides the obvious, we know that the basically Yerushalayim was circled, was in siege. We know that Ezra Hasofer, Nehemiah, or HaTershosa, some people want to call him, the yard site. And also the Torah was translated 70 ways into different languages. And this was a very sad day. We'll talk about in a second why it's sad, how it's sad. So this parsha is all, the Hasidic Torah talks about tefillah. So a few years ago, our friend Ephraim Moss passed away, and Danto and the boys took on to learn Shar B'Tefillah, Rapinkus' Sefer on Tefillah, and it's really big game changer as far as how myself, people in the shul, change the way they daven, how they come to shul, how they act in shul, the different levels of Tefillah. And one is Hagasha, and coming close, approaching. That's one of the actions, one of the verbs, and it's one of the 10 different ways of Tefillah. So all the Hasidic Sfarim talk about Hagasha as this is a tefillah, that Yehuda wasn't just davening and crying out to Yosef, but really was crying out to Hashem. And there's different aspect of doing this, which I think is a big chiddush that Steve Shalom talks about, I think. One is a person should be serious, okay, covered rosh, seriousness of the matter, but also, Yiniach's kol yanav, vayigash rak avar kadosh baruch hu. You should put all your stuff aside and daven just for the sake of Hashem. And that really goes against everything that we're taught in our lives. Rosh Hashanah rolls around, daven for your family, daven for your parnasa, daven for your kids. And then Yom Kippur rolls around, you daven for yourself for a good year, you daven again for your family, again parnasa, people that are sick, daven for them, your kids in the army, daven for them, your parents, your cousins, daven people. Shidduch, always davening for yourself. And the Sefer Shalom says, no. Gemara and Bracha says a person should not daven for himself, daven for Hashem. And then, what in the world does that even mean? Daven for Hashem? What does it even mean? So the Sefer Shalom says, daven because the tsar that Hashem feels. Cholz rasam lo tsar. Cholz rasam lo tsar. Every place that this tsar, Hashem feels this tsar. Hashem is with you in the tsar. So you think about it now. Whatever you're going through, Hashem is going through as well. Okay? But it's more than that. Just like we know that, Chana, 7 children jump off the roof. We know that story about Hanukkah. And we know the fancy story and Saving Private Ryan. 3 brothers die, and they want to bring this guy home. So think about how much tsar that Hashem is going through. That there's thousands and thousands of soldiers that are literally between life and death, and each day there's a couple more. Our neighbor, a cousin. There was another incident. Someone was killed this week, and few guys from our shul, their kids were literally in that Jeep. And so literally, Hashem is feeling his tsar. So every time someone's having tsar, Hashem is feeling that too. But it's times a few million or billions, actually. Which brings us to today. Literally, Hashem is feeling the tsar of today. So even though we're doubting for Shabbat Teves, the Churban started. The Torah was now in different languages, so now the level of Torah or the Kedusha went down. Hashem is feeling this more than we're all feeling this. So this is it's a painful day. So this is what the Sefer Shalom talks about, that a person should not daven for himself. Because if you only daven for yourself, you're like this dog barking. Dog's hungry, barking. Dog is threatened, dog barks. Everything is... So this is not a good thing. Now, the Sefer Shalom talks about, there's only one problem though. The problem is, many people can't do this. Most people, this is impossible for. Maybe a few people in generation maybe can took all their needs aside and just daven for the sake of Hashem. People can't do it. So there's two ways around this. The answer, or the way around this, is to daven for other people with ourselves, which is why Shemona Esrei, it's all Shema Koleinu, Rifa'enu, it's everything of plural, it's all Kolel everybody else. So the Siva Shalom says this is one way how to kind of put ourselves into the conversation and not make it look like we're just dogs barking. If we have a level that Hashem is with us, that Hashem is with us, so Hashem is next to us, we're davening for Hashem's kavod, Hashem's tsar. And the second thing is we daven for the other people. We daven for our neighbors, daven for Klal Yisrael, us with the other people. This way it doesn't sound like we're selfish, only daven for ourselves, only because we need something. And Hashem is with us. The mashal, the prince falls into the pit, and the king walks by. He's not going to let the person sink. Even if the king may get dirty, Hashem is going to go with that person. So wherever a person is, whether they're in fancy Flatbush or something, no matter who the person is, Hashem is with that person. And at a certain level, the Siva Shalom talks about, was Hashem in Mitzrayim? Why did Moshe have to leave Mitzrayim? But the Siva Shalom kind of gets out of this question of Orach Chaim and says that at some level, the Shekhinah was in Mitzrayim, whether Goshen was on the side and it was part of Eretz Yisrael, or whether a lower level of the Shekhinah was in Mitzrayim. But either way, Hashem is with us in Sar. So the first way how to get this is to think of that we're davening to Hashem Mimal. And the second is davening for our brothers and sisters. And this is kind of referenced also in the Pasuk, when he says, Haishram of Oach. Yosef says, do you have a father? Do you have a brother? Or Yehuda says to Yosef, when Yosef asked, do you have a father, brother? And this is literally referenced to what Siva Shalom says in these two ideas. Are you davening? These two ways, of Oach. Davening is that we have a father, and a father's close to us, and Father will do for us whatever we want. Hashem, the father is always in Sar, what the son wants. Oach. Or are we davening on behalf of our brothers, and not just for ourselves, and daven for our brothers? And hopefully, we actually hear good news, and hopefully this is actually the start of the Geula. Hopefully we go from a day of Tainus, Tsar, into a day of Shabbos, which we're on a higher level, and we could feel the Tanag of Hashem, and enjoy the Shabbos. And hopefully this war ends fast, and hopefully this Tsar ends, and hopefully that we're all davening for each other. We're not just davening for ourselves and our children. We're davening for other people, our people for shidduchim, other people, kids in the army, our people aren't well. And we're davening for literally Klal Yisrael, that we should get out of this tsar. But also remember, the first and foremost is Sukkot Zimra, davening for Hashem. The main part is to thank Hashem, shvach Hashem, before we have our needs and talk about that we want Parnas to go well, or the Mets to finally win, or the Jets to get the playoffs one of these decades. But before we get to that, obviously that's important to talk about. But the first thing is to really thank Hashem and to mamlech Hashem, and that's the first part of Oach. Shabbat Shalom. Have an easy fast.